This conference will now be recorded.
The Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a special meeting at the town hall at 4058 County Road N on Monday, October 25th, 2021, 6:30 PM to work on the 22 town budget. You can also attend the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. Meeting was posted at the town hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order. And first item is just discuss and consider hiring a part-time deputy clerk.
I just brought this up. I don't know if this is the year or not, looking at your budget, but I think that sooner or later you're gonna get to the point where we're gonna need somebody other than just me and Deb in there, especially with COVID and the uncertainty of either one of us being there all the time. So I think Deb put some numbers in your packet of what it would cost if we had one for the whole year. I was thinking 3 days a week. In the past, we've had 1 day a week. That did not work out very well just because they're not here enough to really get with the flow that I can actually give them something and make them responsible. It's always me trying to find something for them to do whatever day they are here. So it wouldn't have to be all year either. You know, you could think about hiring somebody later in the year and cut that number in half or something. But at some point, you're going to want to get somebody in here to learn some of what I know so that someday I'm not going to be here anymore.
You say that. What year can you retire?
I can retire next year if I want to.
But you don't want to.
I would retire next year if I could, but financially I can't. But no, I'm not going to be here forever.
So this position on here is deputy clerk is open?
Yeah.
Okay, and you want to start her at 1850?
That's what we are starting the court clerk at, so that's where I got that number from.
So it'll be 12,987. That's for a full year.
Right.
I mean, I could see where we need to do that, but I would, with the budget in the shape that it's in, I would look at a July 1 start date. And
You want to hire full time?
well, I guess we need to discuss that. Do we need 5 days a week or 3 days a week?
I thought 3 days a week. I mean, I guess, you know, the perfect situation would be you would hire somebody that wanted to work part-time now and someday might want to take on the clerk position. I don't know if you're going to find that situation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough for 5 days a week, but I think that anything less than 3 days a week doesn't give them the experience that they need
Right.
to be able to step in. So that's kind of why I thought 3. And I'm just thinking, you know, 3 mornings, so that's 13 and a half hours.
Go ahead. Have that, I had copy that, I thought here.
It's in
This
the
one.
back of the wage one.
Which should be pretty high in the pile.
Third line down, fourth.
Oh, okay.
I could support hiring a part-time deputy clerk starting in July.
Yeah, so could I.
Well, and that's when the elections will get busy too. I mean,
Yeah.
there'll be a February and April election, but they're not going to be as hectic.
But you could use the help in July then
Yeah,
for that fall election.
yes. There'll be an
August.
August election and a fall election.
Yeah. And are we looking at 3 days a week
What are
then?
you looking at?
Yes. I could support 3 days a week.
Oh,
Good thing she sat over here.
So if you calculate that out, Deb,
Yes.
what would the wages FICA?
In half, so $6,493.50 would be your wages, and FICA is $496.75.
Again, please.
I'm not hearing what she said.
The wages are $6,493.50, and FICA is $496.75. That is not including if the person is eligible for
WRS.
retirement. Yeah.
And that just depends on if they have worked for another WRS employer before July of 2011.
Yeah. And that's 4 hours a week or a day, or 4.5,
4.5.
4.5 hours. So for now, plug that in.
All right. We need a motion on that or just?
Yes.
I move that we hire a part-time deputy clerk 3 days a week. Beginning July 1,
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours per day, 3 days a week.
At $18.50 an hour.
Right, at $18.50.
And do we want that person to live in Cottage Road? Town or village?
You can't mandate.
You sure of that?
Yeah, you can't. You can't do that.
I mean, it would be nice, but you can't mandate it. There's a motion by Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Duplay to hire a part-time deputy clerk starting July 1 of 22, working 3 days a week, 4.5 hours per day at $18.50 per hour. Any discussion on the motion?
Well, just a question of that would, we're gonna be looking at inflation here now. That's the way it's gonna be. That's the amount it's gonna be.
Well, usually we give them a raise after their introductory period, but
Right,
starting halfway through the year, that would coincide with the start of next year.
Mhm.
So that would kind of work good.
6 months
But
later.
this wouldn't be included if we approve this and we give these guys, and you guys money for inflation.
No,
We wouldn't want to include that person. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't.
Yeah, Normally a new
I don't
hire
think so.
would wait for
So
their
we're-
6 months.
Okay.
wait till they pass their probationary period. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is consider adopt a motion to move into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent C, for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. The 2022 employee compensation.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay. Roll call.
Aye.
Fonger, Anders, Hampton, aye. Williams.
Aye.
Duplay, aye. We're going in closed session.
So April is online. That's okay, right? 'Cause she's
Yeah, she's the
supervisor.
judge.
So I'm gonna stop the recording for now. And
This conference will now be recorded.
Motion to approve the wage packages as discussed.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to accept the wage packages as discussed.
Or should I change it to say wage and position?
Wage and position.
I don't know, is it more complete?
We already did the deputy clerk.
Okay.
you want
We
to
did.
include
Well,
the
no,
We didn't do
we gotta
anything.
court
get
deputy clerk in that motion or a separate one?
the court one I was referring to.
Oh, the court one?
It's okay with me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't do if it's gonna be July, would we? Approve it for,
Yeah, it'll be part of the budget. You've already taken care of the deputy,
oh, that was before we went,
but the
Okay.
deputy court clerk,
Clerk.
yes.
So
okay.
you're including that in your motion, and that was okay with the second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Question for the, where do we show the, I thought I found it, the income from fines and
It's
forfeits?
right at the bottom of this thing here,
Yeah,
right?
that's in here. I was looking for-
40800.
This one wasn't attached.
It's under, yeah, zone spot. It's
Yeah,
40800. I have to look at my sheet.
40.
They're under licenses and permits and stuff. What is that, page 2?
Second page.
Oh, fines,
halfway down.
forfeitures. Oh, yeah, there's the total. 4080. So we have that in at 30,000 for this year, but already through August, we had taken in 32.
But that's not a net though, that's
No.
gross.
No, yeah.
That's gross.
Retained by municipality was 21, so
What I pay, what, the checks that we send to the state and Dane County are in that account also. So what, right now, 25,835 is the town's revenue. It has the state and the county taken out of there.
okay.
So
So
are
the
we
30
gonna hit
should be a good number for the end of the year that the town would retain.
Yeah.
The reason I think you're probably up is because of the village's project with all those tickets.
probably so.
You probably need to look back a year to a more realistic number, which is
2020 there.
18,000, you know,
19.3.
yeah, so,
I would agree with that.
I mean,
We will
the
have
fact that you have,
PB being repaid next year.
Yeah.
What?
BB is
Gonna be repaid next year.
Yeah,
Not-
but nobody's gonna get on that one, unlike, yeah, I mean, just because of just logistics involved.
We don't know if that's gonna be that far though, right?
right. the
It's just
position
a
of
small
that probably
Park
won't-
there into the village, from the edge of Blooming Grove to into the village. It's a very small little area,
The
really. But
construction zone isn't probably located as,
As
close to
key.
in the town, you know,
Not
like,
as easy of a detour.
yeah.
Okay. So we go to review of town fees. And the one that I would look to add is a charge for CUPs under
Yes.
change of land use.
No, we charge that 300. That is a change of land use. A CUP is considered a change of land use.
But we
Can
have
we
to
split it?
publish those now, though, don't we?
Yeah,
So that's going to cost that fee for publishing, so
okay.
should we separate?
You'd have to separate it in that ordinance too, then probably.
Yeah,
If you look at the ordinance.
so we're gonna separate what now? Which two items? Land,
Separate the actual CUP portion of a land change,
So
land
you,
use fee
yeah.
on page 1
so just use the change of land use fee for rezones essentially.
for
and have a-
rezone.
Have a different fee for conditional use permits.
Yeah,
that'd be a different line then, or what?
yeah, we would have to.
So we'll have to look at the ordinance because we may need to change the ordinance in order to do that.
So that we can recoup that cost for publishing for CUPs.
Or you could just put in the ordinance to actually charge the actual cost of publication since it's different every time.
Why don't we charge even more? Just because of
You're not
that,
supposed to make money.
I don't think we have to.
You're not? Is that,
okay,
is that a regulation also, or is that
No,
somebody's opinion? I'm asking the
yeah,
question.
I mean, if you think about it, you get the attorney involved a lot of times. You get the engineer involved
I have it.
that we're paying for.
I know, because I wrote on mine. I know I can't
You know, we
find it.
have, how many plan commission meetings do we have? Usually, it's usually more than one. Typically, it's two.
Right.
Usually your second meeting, somebody else, the next petitioner paid for.
Yeah.
Well,
That
that's,
covers that,
Yeah.
that cost.
but we can't go ahead and base our fees on splitting it up between 4 different things. What happens if it's the only one? You know,
Right.
Well, what's the
I mean,
recommendation?
for what I see being charged in other municipalities for kind of, look what the county charges.
What do you think, Chris? What?
I don't know,
what should we charge?
I was just looking at making sure we covered our costs for CUPs, because we now have to publish it.
Mhm.
So you can take that out of off the front one, make that separate for one thing, and then,
Yeah, like I said, it's different every time when you publish by a little bit at least, but depending on what it is.
How long it is.
Right, but we'll figure out what this one is now that I just published and, you can use that as a basis, I guess. Or you could just put it in the ordinance that you're gonna charge them the cost of publication, whatever it is.
Whatever, that's probably
that's probably an easier way of doing it.
the best way of going about it. Charging that fee for whatever the newspaper charges us, we collect that back.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so I can look into how we might change the ordinance for that to fit.
So what happens if we get say, for sure, like the engineer involved? How do we recoup those costs? Currently, we don't.
When do we get an engineer involved on a rezone?
I'm talking about a CUP.
When do we get them involved in a CUP?
With the owner, basically, right? I mean, how does the engineer fit in? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I can't think of a time when we've had an engineer talk to us about a CUP. Can you, Kim?
I would say lawyer for sure, right?
Well, that'd be up to the owner, I guess, if he didn't want to talk for himself, right?
No, I'm
You know what I
talking
mean?
about any
Expense the
advice
town.
that we as a town would be getting
From our guy?
from our guys.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I
got
mean, I
what you're
guess
saying.
if anything, the planner might be the more likely consultant that you would go to
Yeah.
for something like that.
Yeah,
If you were gonna have someone involved in either of those.
yeah, it would probably be the planner.
How do we, okay, say, we'll use your argument for the planner. How do we recoup those costs?
Currently, we don't.
I know,
So
but given the times,
So would you want to have a flat fee that you add to this 300, make it 325, and you assume over the year that it's going to balance out? Or pick another
I
fee?
think
I don't-
you just increased it from 250 or 275 to 300 last year or the year before.
Yeah.
It was increased
Well,
recently.
I just,
Should we included yours?
That was a while ago, yeah.
I guess, given the finances circumstance, we shouldn't be giving away anything.
No, I agree completely.
You know, we don't have the money built into our budget to support somebody who wants to do something here. And whatever, a buck's a buck, you know, whether it's 50, 100, or whatever. And quite frankly, I don't know that, are we truly going to be held to the penny as far as charging somebody $427.12 for their CUP permit because of what we think the, you know,
Publishing
or,
costs are?
you know, we got to charge them in advance. And if Mr. Roffers gets involved and he's got 3 or 4 or 5 hours, whatever his research is, just throwing numbers out there, how do we recoup that unless we collect the money up front?
I think we should look at the ordinance because what I would like to see is that we felt more free to ask Mark Roffers questions, you know, and didn't just not consult the planner because we didn't want to spend the money.
I agree with you.
And so I wish that we didn't have to economize on that so much. Maybe there's a way that we can put it in the ordinance that, it's like when we have non-metallic mining permits, we get the permit, we figure out if we've got everything, and any professional consultations that we need, they got to pay for. Maybe you can do the same thing with any of that kind of thing. So that you're not charging everybody more. The simple ones, they don't need to pay that, but the ones that are complicated and we feel we need help with, it should be their expense, not the town's.
Is that the direction?
Yeah.
I can look into that.
Okay.
So we'll see, I'll start with the Towns Association and just see what they say about that.
Okay,
Do we hold that as kind of a question mark for?
well, however we do it, it's not going to really affect the
No,
budget.
we always just review this at budget time because we're supposed to do it once a year.
Yeah.
And then we don't usually have a resolution changing the actual fees until a little later anyway, so.
So
I can,
any change to alcohol beverage fees, they should doubt it.
They haven't gone up at all.
Lasting fees stay the same. Land use, tobacco, dangerous animal.
what is a dangerous animal?
And do we have any?
We don't have
No,
any.
we don't
but
have any.
It's in the ordinance, chapter 20, it talks about registering
Certain
animals that are
breeds, wasn't
not
it?
breeds, but just based more on behavior. If they are, if they're repetitively causing problems or whatever.
Do I have to get rid of my lion?
No free ranging lions.
We've never had one registered,
No.
so
Did the county make any change to dog license?
not that I heard.
Are these set by the county?
The county has a fee, and
Has
then
their
this is
own, and
what
then
we
we have-
charge, this is what we charge on top of it.
I think these are incredibly low. And
We're-
$7 for
Well, that's
multi-dog.
only our portion of it, okay? And so like a dog is $18.25 or $23.25 when you add ours to the county, which is pretty much in line with what everybody else is. So this is just our processing fee for those.
But multi-dog up to 12?
But that's one license. That's
So you
a-
have to get, say I have 3 dogs, I have to get 3 licenses.
You get one license that has 3 dogs on it. So people do that when it's I guess it's a quantity discount in a way. Sometimes it's cheaper for them to buy a multi-dog license, which is $50.25, than it is to license 3 dogs separately. So like, it depends on if they're neutered or spayed, but anyway, that's one license. And so we charge $7 to process that license, which is just one sheet of paper, just like the other ones are. So that's not a big deal either, really. And we have postage involved in processing time. But I don't know. I mean, we're not cheap compared to anybody else. from what I've
We
seen.
aren't cheap compared to anybody else.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, not when you add the county's fees to it. And yeah,
Oh,
what
I thought
it
we were.
actually costs the dog owner. Ends up costing the dog owner. We're not cheap compared to others.
Well, it's not deterring people from dogs.
No,
The dog population's way high.
Driveway permit.
they all call it the dog tax though, and they don't like it. So,
Driveway permit fee, Dan, it's 150. Is that still cover your costs?
I think so. I mean, it doesn't take much time up.
And the deposit's still good at 1,000
Yeah.
for damage? No changes to the emergency response. Fireworks. Permit fee. Had one in the last week of the last 2 years. Town hall, Flint Hall rental.
These fees are all covering costs for the emergency services, emergency response.
They come from them,
Okay,
from the federal government.
okay. Sorry, thank you. Yes.
Town hall and Flint Hall, everybody's okay with those yet?
Mhm.
Handling fee,
we really don't even ever use that. We can't, there's so many things we do that we can't charge for. I don't even know what that's supposed to cover anymore.
impact fee for parkland impact and recreation impact fee per new dwelling unit. So that should stay the same.
Is that charged when they get their building permit?
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Land division fees. Concept preliminary plat. Certified survey. Mailing list. Non-metallic mining fee. Overweight permit fees. Or the bond. Park organized event. Peddlers, transients, photocopying. That's still reasonable?
Pretty much what everybody has, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't use it much either.
Special plan committee meetings. Road right-of-way permits. And all your trenching and everything, you're okay with that, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty standard to what everybody else is doing, it sounds like.
Okay.
It seems wowed by it anyway.
Special town board meeting. Statement of property status, title search. Waste treatment, disposal, storage site application fee. So no changes. All right, so then we can go and we can talk about the budget, the revenue estimates.
You want to do court, just do court while April's still here, then go back and do that.
You don't want to make her stay?
No.
All right, we'll go to judicial. 50285. No retirement. Salary stays the same. FICA stays the same. Judicial education and travel expense went up. What is this?
Where are we?
No,
50285.
I don't see that.
Great.
Page 6.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
well,
Or five.
you've got a sheet from the
And-
court too,
Oh,
of what
yeah.
they wanted.
Find it?
No.
No,
Keep going
Here-
right
Oh,
there.
here I am. I'll go to this.
where is it?
Keep going. Get to
That's
the
our
actual-
sugar. On this top.
So we have the, the figures that are all in there for what we
503.
so far agreed to. Clerk salary, deputy clerk, FICA. Any problems with judicial?
I'm comfortable with it.
We're comfortable with it for now.
Yes.
So we go back and we can do revenue. Taxes, the 1,738,962, that's the maximum amount that we can collect this year. Other taxes, village annexation. That's what it is.
They still have an annex wide,
Copy
It's
down.
the Coffee Town one, so.
And that's not in there, so.
That's what your note was, though, if they happen to by the end of the year, is that what?
Yeah, I just put a note in there, but it hasn't, I don't think that I could this year anyways.
You haven't annexed yet?
No,
No, they haven't acted on it.
I haven't acted on that.
What the,
It's been a year, I think, because I remember asking them last year if they were gonna do it before an election or something, and
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
So we got shared revenue and local transportation. We got all that in your packet. The levy limit worksheet that was done. I don't see,
when we're looking at the bridges, what? We gotta pay this in advance? Is that
No,
or what's the,
This is the aid that's up in the revenue is the amount that they said they were gonna
that's the
pay.
80%.
oh, that's the 8, okay.
80% that we get.
Oh, I thought we didn't get that until after the bridges were done or whatever.
Well, we'll get it next year.
Okay,
So we had to put it in as revenue
Okay,
for
got it.
22.
but that just washes basically,
Yep. We don't make any money on it.
no.
Later on, we'll see what we have to pay.
Mhm. Landfill compensation fee,
What item?
landfill compensation fee, 4570. What's the deal there?
057.
It's we started at 50,000 and it goes up. Oh, Kim, you should probably send John Walsh a reminder that we need that contract
That's what I,
for the
it's not
12%.
on there, obviously, right?
Right,
Mm.
so
But we should have something under the 22.
Yeah, I
budget.
must have missed
Yeah.
that one. Should,
and I don't know if we want to add 12% to that now.
okay.
Is that what it's gonna be? Or,
That's what they told me, that they would agree to a 12%
okay.
increase.
When does that start though? Isn't that not until it's built?
Yes.
So it probably wouldn't be next year. Because that payment comes early in the year, doesn't it?
April or so.
Yeah.
but still, don't we get
So we should,
inflation? Isn't that
yeah,
based on that besides the 12%, right?
well, the 12% is the
Just
starting figure
For the,
that,
yeah,
that goes up.
once it kicks in.
But the 54 should be increased by whatever we think inflation's gonna be.
Although I don't think they've been doing that.
No, I think they have
It
been,
went up
haven't they? But it's been
2,000
peanuts
from
because
last year.
Okay.
there's been very little inflation.
Yeah, it went up
What the
2,000
inflation has
from,
been home.
But we should be getting the money from Dane County if I'm pretty sure
yeah,
there was inflation in, right? So I'd say, well, we're talking at least 5%, more like 6.
So what are you
But-
putting in there, Deb? I can't see.
Oh, this was the 12% and I was trying to figure out, there's something's wrong with my formulas here.
take the 54,084 and add 5% to it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, for now, yep.
And we'll put that figure in.
$56, $788, $67. Sorry, I was
56,
788,
67.
60. Thank you.
Okay,
That helps a little.
yeah. Doubt that we'll have any FEMA aid next year.
58,
Don't know.
7.
I don't know. Yeah, that just offsets anything they additionally.
Yeah,
purchase.
86.
if we have a disaster. Personal property is still in there. Video service provider was in the thing. Routes to recovery grant.
That's actually I just haven't changed it. I just use the same grant or account as last year, but that's the,
ARPA.
yeah. And so the funds that are in there right now for this year are, obviously we're not probably gonna spend them, so I'm moving them the balance sheet and creating a fund balance for that.
Oh.
So this will not be part of your revenue at year end.
I would say we're gonna use at least 5,000 of that ARPA for that stormwater study for Koshkonong.
but didn't he say that we should keep another 50,000 out?
Well, we don't have to budget that though now, because we
Yeah,
don't
you
know
can't budget.
for sure. All we know is that of that study, 5,000 is gonna be our portion,
Yeah.
so, and we could use that money, that ARPA money for that. So do we need to put 5,000 in here
For 2022?
for 22, that we'll use it in 22?
You can, I'll just have to show it down on the bottom
It would
as
be,
well. It's just gonna be
it
a
would be
wash.
under surplus funds applied, wouldn't it? Or something more of that, because it'll be a fund.
Well, we're gonna
Balance?
get this, we're getting another
Oh,
207 next year. So,
Oh,
I mean, I could just use,
So we're,
it doesn't matter
So we're
where.
gonna actually get 500 or 415.
Yeah,
What
or
do we
something.
need?
I can't
Or
remember.
14.
yeah, we got a couple.
419.
For sure.
Yeah.
So should we show that 5,000 that we're gonna take
Yeah.
and spend?
Whatever
or-
they'll let us use it for.
or
Yeah, I
not?
just have to put it, I have to put it down in stormwater then.
Yeah,
So I'll put it there.
so we put 5,000 here and 5,000 in expense,
Yeah.
okay. Any questions on licenses and permits?
No.
Public charges for service, we got our garbage and recycling in there, that's always does.
That's a wash, though, we charge.
Yeah, we charge it on
back.
special
Okay, great.
assess.
Perfect.
Intergovernmental, you got that. We'll get from Pleasant Springs and from the village. Investment income. Yeah. Leave it at 7, I guess. Miscellaneous income. Those are okay.
Looks good.
The parks income at the bottom, that's the money that they pay when they get that building permit.
Yes.
Mhm.
That, well, this is Kennedy Hills. This is only Kennedy Hills
Okay.
income.
Yeah,
So I don't know how much is actually staying yet. Once he has to get the final amount that he spent or how that works, but then I reimburse him.
so we
Which we
can,
think is gonna be pretty much on target, but then, so your budget for next year would be, how many lots do you think are gonna get building permits next year?
yeah,
And we don't have that many lots that aren't
Lot.
sold or started, and I don't know how many, you probably know, how, between, in Kennedy Hills, how
Well,
many,
how many are left?
are,
Not many.
no, so.
don't
4,
put anything in.
4 or 5.
Well, is this income that's gonna be moved to the balance sheet for future park expense? Because then I wouldn't want to budget anything because
Yeah.
it's not money to be used.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's all the income, so expenditures. Town board stays the same. Plan commission stays the same. Town planner went down because we aren't doing, we'll be done with comp plan hopefully. Emergency government went up $250.
Yeah,
Cut that sucker now.
when you go through all the crap, you got that money.
Hazard mitigation,
Yeah.
Sounds like it sounds like it's in.
I mitigated out, let me tell you.
okay.
Him I know for sure is, so,
Yeah,
and Dan probably too.
we're mitigated out, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we go to clerk, secretarial, and treasurer. You filled in all those from,
Yep, I have that all updated.
So if we are probably gonna need another workstation in the office come July, though. I don't know if you put that under, did you put that under town hall, maybe?
yeah,
We got nothing open in the, like, this is full of stuff, obviously. and-
town hall equipment is where we could put that.
You'd wander in with Kim though.
What I would propose, I haven't talked to Deb about this because she
Well-
was out of the office last week, but what I would propose is that we move Deb back from the front and put the deputy clerk up front so that they can learn from me and learn to be the one that answers the phone and learns to
People coming in.
can come in and gets Deb out of the responsibility of having to do those things. So she's more just doing her treasurer tasks. I don't know how you feel about that. But, you know, because I think that would be the goal, would be to have that person basically eavesdropping on me as much as they could,
Yeah,
being right there. And
that's how they'll learn.
then, you know, as time goes on, when they're here, they're the ones that help the people to the best of their ability until I have to help. So we need something, probably in the back part of the office, some kind of a setup for Deb, or move her setup and put a different setup where hers is. I have no idea what that was gonna cost. I don't know.
Well, our guys that are, doing the checking the, building inspections and stuff does he actually need an office
Oh,
here?
yeah.
He actually
Yeah,
does?
He has files.
Or
and
could there
everything.
be somewhere else he could put his files or anything,
I
or
don't think so. No, he needs an office. But yeah, I mean,
could he be in the basement or no, or?
no, I don't think, because he does talk, people come in, if he's
Yeah,
in
no,
here,
I
they go-
understand.
They go to him. I wouldn't want to take his office.
But the point of the ethical with legal people, I mean, to me, I see the same,
The only other
ethics
room
being-
you got is that storage room right inside the door,
well,
you know, I mean, you got
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Right
Or
here.
this room, yeah.
I would say this one would be better than that one, wouldn't it?
what's in the storage one down there?
For Chairs.
That other one down there? It's
Yeah.
got all the bathroom supplies.
Cleaning
It's got a
Well,
lot
I
of-
guess,
it's got a lot of
okay,
kit.
so then you could put the court clerk in here.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, could be.
You could make this office where the vault is, make that the court clerk's office. What do you think, April?
Which one is smaller?
Is she still on?
Yeah.
Which one's
Yeah, I'm
smaller?
still on.
There's- I'm also still set up at home, so I could take that small area and rotate back and forth with home in here.
No, we want you here. I want to see your smiling face when I come in.
We want you to move to Cottage Grove.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that front room is probably smaller.
Yeah, this would actually, because I mean, the court clerk does use the vault
Mhm.
and probably more than I do, you know, because she's got more stuff in there that she accesses on a regular basis. That probably wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, I don't know what else we ever use that room for. They use it sometimes for consultations during court with an attorney, I think.
Yeah, well,
But that
We can
might,
keep all the voting supplies and everything else.
They're in the
you'd have to
vault.
get a phone in there. There's no phone in there, so you'd have to get phone and internet jacks piped in there.
mm,
It's not too tough.
Well, you wouldn't need internet jacks, and the wireless here would take that, but you would have to move a phone in there, and that, yeah, and then Deb could move back to her desk that she moved away from before.
It's not a bad thing.
April, are you there?
I am, and I'm not opposed to that idea at all, as long as we could make it a comfortable arrangement for the court clerk and not have it be like a prison back there or a place where they would come into work and be miserable. We want them to actually enjoy coming to work and doing their job because we want to be able to retain them in this position. So to make sure that they're comfortable going into that office and actually enjoy being in their office and being in that room. So
And all the windows that are in there?
Yeah, it'd be actually, I would go there.
yeah,
I haven't spent a lot of time in there, but I know that, Vicky's been in there a few times and she's done a lot of filing in the vault. So I think it would be a good question to ask Vicky or anybody. Kim, you know what it's like in there. So if it could be something that could be habitable, then yeah, I'm not opposed to it at all. And then as far as like, if you would want them to do money collection from there, or if you want them to still go to your window, if that's something we have to look at how that transfer happens too. I don't know how that would work. So.
Just be a matter of calling them up to the front when someone came in and needed to see the court clerk.
mhm.
Yeah,
And she could decide if she wants to bring them back to her office.
I wouldn't think that would be very comfortable, but,
You don't. think
Right.
this-
no, I would think that it would be uncomfortable to have people come back here to pay. I would think they would come to the window and we would
Yeah,
basically page her up to the
Yeah.
window to collect their payments, but.
yeah, I
agree.
think that makes more sense for you to call the clerk up to the front.
Yeah,
Since I know we have such talented people in our crew, they could maybe make kind of a screen to screen off the chairs.
Well, we take them out there.
the chairs.
Yeah, we take all that, everything we brought out of there.
Okay,
It's actually, it'd be a huge office.
it would be.
Yeah, the tables and all that.
Bigger than yours.
We could just clean up that front one and reorganize and get all that in there.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be great. This could be a nice area. You have the door open, you have all this out here too.
yeah, so then you would just need whatever office furniture you would need to furnish that is all you'd have, what you'd have to budget for, and a phone and an installation. I have no idea what that'll run.
There's not a jack in there. Huh?
She's got filing cabinets, we could move those
Right,
back here.
right.
Yes, and side thing,
Yeah, like
probably.
probably still want an L-shaped desk, those work
Yeah.
nice.
And we probably check it AmFam
Right, fine.
first.
There is phone ports in there. I don't know if
I
they're.
don't know if they're hooked up, but I mean, they're not hooked up to the current systems.
No,
But at least it's wired somehow. They just have to find them.
Tie into it, yeah.
So we have to find a phone. If we're gonna get a phone, I would suggest that we get my phone is the only one that's like a full console that I can see who's on, and I can put it into different modes, night mode and stuff like that. Then we should get a second one like that for the deputy clerk and put the plain phone back here for the clerk. Is what I would
Sure.
suggest.
so do you think we could do all that for $1,000?
I
Yeah, I
don't
would
know. I mean, that would be the best guess. I would,
think so.
the phone thing,
I don't know what desk thing would cost.
I have no idea. I mean, I
I
guess
would
that's,
think you'd be able to get a desk from AmFam for a couple $100, a nice one.
Or surplus somewhere.
UW has
State
some
surplus.
surplus stuff
Yeah.
too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Used to have a lot of good stuff.
And this stuff all the time.
And then whatever it costs for the phone, and I'd say put in $1,000 for town hall equipment.
Actually, we might not even, there is another phone, so yeah, that's what I was gonna say was 1,000.
Town hall equipment.
Yeah. And it gives us 6 months to get that
Mhm. Right,
ready.
right.
50,720.
Say that again, please.
50,720. It's like
So
three pages
clerk, treasurer, assessor, we're all okay with?
Okay.
So we go to judicial, legal. Anything different for judicial or legal? Elections, you're planning for 4 of them.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yep, in every possible way. Ouch.
Accounting, we got our audit costs in there. Property and liability insurance.
I don't know what that is. I just put in.
They never can tell us, and because it's too close, so yeah, I just put the kind of a inflationary adjustment is all we can ever do.
Mhm.
I mean, if anything, I'd raise it to 31, but we can leave it at 30.
It was 26 last year, so,
27, 2, 43 so far this year.
yeah.
Yeah, leave it at 30.
Nothing really should cover it.
Town hall, Flynn Hall,
Town hall maintenance from 18? Which 21 or,
We did
AC.
furnace and AC,
okay, yeah,
Both went bad last year.
which we are gonna do next year.
Nope.
no,
Um,
okay.
If anything, we might have a window that we have to replace. I don't know.
It's a repair. I don't know yet. I gotta see it
It
rain
was
hard.
dry this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's leaking.
When all we're okay with that.
Yeah, am I the only one that?
Well, you're definitely gonna have a,
that
Yeah.
has
The floor?
high-
Yeah.
high tech
And wasn't there AC there too?
furnaces? I mean,
I think it
considering.
was
the fact
last
we
in
just put in
2020.
that's like a maintenance plan, I think, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's for maintenance every year.
That's,
We do this every year.
Springs, spring and fall.
Well, they are often.
Spring and fall, yeah, because you got
Yeah.
furnace and then you got AC.
Yeah.
I tell you, I think we gotta look at utilities a little different, than what it was in 21
Utilities for,
for everything. Town hall utilities, we got the same as 21. Clinton Hall utilities, the same.
Yeah, they say that.
You get what I'm saying?
Cost is gonna go up, down.
20% at least,
Fuel costs.
yeah. I think that's something we gotta look at bulking up a little bit there in all of those areas. I'd say minimum 20% more in each area.
well,
Because that's, I mean,
let's.
the inflation's gonna be here, so,
Let's come back to those after we get through everything else.
okay.
Other governmental, nothing there. Public safety, we got the figures from Dane County.
And that actually went down, right?
Yeah, because
Got the workman's
Because
comp?
French,
hopefully, yeah, French retired and.
he was at a higher
Oh.
rate than Christina.
But workman's comp, it looked to me like looking at the stuff went way down, so, in the stuff we got from them.
Emergency building. We raised that,
Dramatic.
yeah, each, the town and village were each putting in 20,000.
Okay.
Because at some point we're gonna replace a roof.
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten. Yeah.
EMS, we have that in, yes, that went up. Fire inspections. Building inspections. Gas. So we'll have as much building as we did next year as we did this year. Highway maintenance. And here's where you see the expenses for Femrite Bridge and Umphoff Bridge.
Yeah. Otherwise, we had only big difference is sand and salt expense.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Budget line is gonna go down just because we got a full bunker of sand and salt. I got a full shed of salt, so I budgeted a lot, I booked a lot less for next year.
Supposed to be a bad winter though.
Yeah, we'll probably use all of it. We usually do up until the last couple of years here.
Chris, what do you think about, now, didn't we talk about replacing some tires on one of the fire trucks?
That was in the budget. That was in their budget.
All right.
On the stormwater expense for 51,930, you have 2835, but the note from Chuck Nong was 2585.
I always add 250 for that's the payment to the state, that
Yep.
MS4 fee. Is
Oh,
that what that? So yeah, I added another 250 and then
and then under that, Should we then put something for that Kashnan Creek study, that $5,000?
Yep, I added that in there,
Okay,
and this here,
Then they get
7835,
and
What is
then
that?
the stormwater expense.
under stormwater expense,
That
we're
up
gonna add,
to 7835?
Was
Yeah.
7830?
no,
No?
stormwater for Kashnan Creek was, we're adding $5,000.
Uh-huh.
To the, I added 5,000 to the
Okay.
2,835.
So the total is 7835.
Yes.
And you'll show that being transferred from ARPA funds. Any questions on highway maintenance? Highway construction, we left it at same amount as we did this year, 350,000.
And that's all, what do you got for your loan, the same amount too?
Yeah, that's what, we'll borrow that.
yeah, you gotta pay the remainder out of that cul-de-sac yet. Out of that, that's why.
Yes.
Yep.
And you have your garbage, recycling.
That Janelle cul-de-sac, was that supposed to be paid out of unassigned funds, or is that just out of this budget? I don't remember. I was looking at that today.
The cul-de-sac,
Yeah,
it should be out of the rest of this.
okay.
Landfill monitoring. It is what it is.
Yep.
Park expense. We had $15,000 in for capital purchase at some point, not knowing.
Is there anywhere, can some of that be taken from the Kennedy Hills money then? Is that shown in here?
It's possible that it could be, the ARPA money could be used for that,
For what?
for park improvements.
Yeah, might look like it could be, actually.
That's great.
But you can't budget for that, you said.
No.
It's Steve's plan.
We can't, what do you mean we can't budget for it?
You can't show the ARPA as a
Budgeted amount.
Oh.
budgeted revenue, basically.
We have Colonial Club stayed the same as last year.
I didn't hear anything from you about E. Harlan.
I didn't either. I need to contact that Martin Griffin. He was supposed to send something out after we set the budget.
Here's your Harlan.
Ours was supposed to go down for the next 3 years.
How come we only had on the Colonial Club through 2020?
He had the wrong date on it. I don't know,
Huh?
did I print out the wrong one? He sent 2 copies because one was the wrong.
This is the right one.
Oh.
Well, because we're not done with 21 yet. So there'll only be 4 years, I guess.
Capital outlay, fire protection, that's the total amount for both vehicles.
Yes.
And then the highway wants 25,000 to buy a new mower
Yeah.
for the big John Deere tractor with a wing on
Yeah, it's the ditch, that's the backup ditch
it.
mower.
Mower.
Yeah, that Woods, we're gonna replace that one with a new one. That one's getting pretty ratty. And then the broom, we're gonna buy a new broom, replace our old one.
That's under 52,560.
52,550.
52,550 highway equipment outlay.
Yeah, the mower. The mower is 16, 1,800 and the broom is 5,000.
Is there any value in the old ones?
Not much.
Well, we should probably put something in there for sale or
I think, I thought I edited that. Where's the? I thought I edited it,
sale of highway equipment.
but I don't think I put.
He
the
had
right number in there.
$1,500 in there.
No, that's not right. It should be like 3,500.
3,500?
Yeah, for both pieces of equipment, yeah.
Okay,
So where is this now?
page 2,
Three.
42,010.
Page 3.
Page 3,
Okay. And it's 1,500 now and it should be what?
35.
I was at
35.
35, yeah. I finally got a price on the old broom. They don't make them like that anymore, but somebody might be interested in it. I think we'll try to sell those outright before I put it on surplus, because I don't know, I think somebody maybe in the area would buy them sooner.
And so what was that going to?
42,010, page 3.
So fire protection equipment outlay, 1,156,000, that's for,
2 pieces of equipment.
and so as far as revenue coming in that area, what's,
We get from the village. You have total is 463,
Yeah,
463.
it was half that you said that they're paying of that one, and then isn't, that the town is paying full for the other, the 4,000?
The tanker we pay 100% of. And the other ones at whatever the rate is for this year, for 22.
That should change that. I don't know why I put down half. I mean, get that different rate in there.
what, the 1 million something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What should that be?
well, that should be 1 million. I should increase the revenue from the village.
463.
I did. I don't know why.
You better confirm with them that they know they're paying that too.
Yeah,
They know they are for the engine there. Decided not to pay anything on the tanker.
It is what it is.
MPO, we said that during the budget process, we would consider a contribution to MPO. And it's not listed.
Yep. Okay. Waiting to see what the total is.
Thunder Magic.
And what was?
Do you expect she's got a damn Paris Cup?
Well, they didn't have any magic yesterday.
No, they did not.
My son's a Buccaneers fan. So
Oh,
he enjoyed the game.
I'm sure he did.
All right, so the long-term note was for both the trucks, right? That was
Our portion.
yes, so that's gonna be different.
It's for our portion of the 2 fire truck payments, we'll borrow that.
Yeah. Might as well. What good is to have good credit if you don't use it from every now and again?
Yeah, well, I'm just hoping the interest rates stay low.
I think they will.
I think we had a feeling if they were going to go up very much, as soon as they can get a VIN number, we should be able to take out the loan for it, shouldn't we?
Actually, theoretically, you should be able to. Why can't you, like the regular consumer banking is? You can go ahead and lock the rate in as early as 60 days ahead of time. You know, I mean, that's what I did when I ordered my new truck.
Yeah.
A 3-year note for 0.8%. You know, I would
We
think,
probably want 10 years.
yeah,
29,187.39.
How much?
29,187.39.
Where's that one at?
That figure.
That's what you need to find.
I need to find that much?
I think so. Hold on. Make sure I'm looking at it right, because
29,000? That's not as bad as I thought.
No, I thought it was gonna be way worse than that.
yeah, we need more revenue.
See that again now?
You need to find 29,008.
So you got more revenue towards the truck from the village.
But that just really offset
That's
because
just, but so
the
yeah.
press wants to
so
borrow.
You adjusted the other side of that too then, though.
Yeah.
30,000.
Take it out of undesignated funds and we'll still be over 20% for 22.
What is it, undesignated is what right now?
Is that
1 million.
$1,030,000,
something like that, yeah.
something like that.
So as long as you don't go over budget this year, it shouldn't change too much
Right.
from that.
So we're $1 million over
You have $1 million in
what
unassigned
we
funds.
projected, basically.
No.
No,
That's what accumulated in that
I
unassigned.
understand that, but I'm saying that taxpayers paid $1 million more than we really needed.
Not just
Not
this
just this
year,
year,
that's the.
I understand that.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I don't care how many years it is. I'm just saying that, and we can't do anything about that, basically, right? I mean,
Spend more.
And I don't want to do anything about it.
yeah,
it's $1,040,200.
we want to use it for
So if we take that
something.
$30,000 out, we'll still be above our 20%.
That doesn't, so that number doesn't include, I have 238,767. That is the town's portion of the bridge expense for next year. So that will be applied to it as well.
And
Next
come
year.
out of unassigned.
Yes, that's the extra, from what I could tell from the contracts that you guys signed.
Yeah,
But you're saying 20%, it was what we've been keeping in excess,
we
basically.
had been above 25.
You know, what is like 20% about?
That's what the
Let me
auditor.
say, how much money is that? Is that out of that million something?
I don't
Any
know.
idea?
No, I wouldn't be able to tell. I'd have to look at the budget and,
Mhm. Maybe
yeah.
about 200,000.
200,000 something.
Yeah,
But isn't part of what we're paying for the bridges coming out of that money too?
Right.
In 2022, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll take a big chunk out of that
I'd say
surplus.
there'd be 700,000 left after, or 600,000 left after that even, I would think.
Yeah, we'll be
So, I mean,
below.
we're gonna have a good chunk of money still left
Yeah,
that we should be able to use to make up the 30-some thousand, correct?
yes, but we'll be below what they say we should have,
We're supposed to have, what is it, 20 to 25?
20 to 25%.
Yeah, which is
In
like
rate
$200,000, right? 225,000?
No,
Of the
of your
Oh,
total
the total
budget.
budget, okay, got it.
Putting another 100,000 into it, because looks like we're about 100,000 in the budget.
Is in
schedule.
income, you didn't show that undesignated coming out and going into income to pay for bridges.
Yeah, it's on the
It's
last
on, it's
page.
on the bottom.
It's under the surplus funds applied area.
Last page.
There it is.
Surplus funds, 257.
But we should be able to easily cover the 30-some thousand
Sure.
from undesignated funds, correct?
Yes.
So I mean, looks to me like we're
It sounds like it's.
looking pretty good, considering all the stuff we added. Is that the way you see it, Chris? Well, I mean, how else, unless we go back through the whole thing and unplug something.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna be pulling pennies out. in the
Yeah,
grand
basically.
scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yes?
We'll, when they do the audit, we'll still be good. In 22's audit, when they audit the books for 22, we'll show that we're below the 20% unless we have,
Well, unless,
thought it was
unless
basically
you
50.
find ways to use the ARPA funds, or unless you have find ways to use some of those
Yeah.
park fees
Yeah.
for some of this stuff, you know.
I'd say that's,
There may be amendments during the year that use some of
I
those
think-
funds and then you don't use as much on a sign.
no, I think you're totally right.
Yeah.
You know, as we find out what we could use the money for, if they ever decide totally, you know. But it seems like everybody's using money for all kinds of stuff. I mean, look at what the village is trying to use their money for. I mean,
Yeah.
for
the villages, you use
electric,
stormwater. What?
stormwater and sewer.
Yeah.
yes, stormwater and sewer, but their solar on top of their buildings, looks to me like they're using that too.
And you just watch, they'll pay for it using that ARPA funds for the sewer. And then when the developer comes in, they'll make him pay them back for it. It'll go in a different pot that they don't have to afford.
Just like
That's
the county
unethical.
and the city do all the time.
I'm just saying that's what's gonna happen.
You can use money for solar.
So
Like,
we
looks like
had,
it.
so we're gonna use the use of surplus funds for that 29, whatever. So we did have a request some time ago from MPO. Did we want to give them any money?
Yep,
How much were they asking for?
Anybody have that?
What's MPO? What is that?
Metropolitan Planning Organizations for the transportation.
Transportation funds.
Oh, God.
I don't have it with me.
I do, sorry.
Cottage Grove has benefited the village, got
Have we?
money for the bike trail along Clark Street and that extension. That came from MPO.
Yeah, it's really nicely done.
Yeah.
See a little strip of grass about that big.
They left it, it's so stupid.
I know.
Grass in the parking lot.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
Wouldn't you put a curb in so that the people in the parking lot just don't drive across the bike path?
Wouldn't you finish up the whole part of their, all the way up to our portion?
I think it does.
$1,200.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're gonna do that next summer, I guess. They ran out of money.
That's about 1,200.
Give them
For
$1,100.
$11.79.
Anybody willing to make a motion to give MPO $1,000?
I'll do 1,000. I won't do any more. We just don't.
So
I
Clay
guess-
made the motion, and are you a second?
Sure.
For $1,000 to MPO to add that to the 22 budget.
Correct.
You really upset me with their comments.
Any discussion on that motion?
Where would that go?
And you voted for it yet.
Yeah, we haven't, but it would probably go.
Somewhere in the planner or something? What categories?
Conservation and development? Development of roads?
Let's add a new budget category, Deb. Pay to play, pay to play.
I would think under the conservation and development, like where we have your Harrow Winds.
Okay, I'll just stick it under the economic development right now. Did you want the full, did you say just 1,000 or 11?
Just 1,000.
Okay.
1,000. There was a motion. Any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I,
Motion carried. Now, do we want her to play with those numbers and double check that she has everything correct before we adjourn tonight?
that seems like a pretty good idea. I don't know, it's a lot of information there.
And that way we don't have to come back tomorrow night to,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Can you do that?
What do you want me to do? I have everything.
We want you to do everything.
I
We
have
want
it in
to
there.
check for $30,000. Everything that we did tonight and we have okayed is in there and
Do
that,
you want to go through it with me? Because I have it all right here. Or do you want me to, I don't,
Can I ask, well, before we start on that, I'm probably gonna shoot myself in the foot for even bringing this up, but we are digging a big hole with the court stuff,
With the what?
with the court. I mean, how much it costs us between the court legal, the judge, the clerks, everything for what we get out of it. You know, it costs us close to $50,000 a year. That's net.
It seemed like for a while, we were making money off the
Well,
court
I don't
system.
know, we was closer. I
No,
mean,
we
it
were,
was-
we were making actual money on it. A few years ago, we were.
You know, and I'm beginning with this type of deficit between what it costs to have the court, what kind of benefit do we truly get out of it? I mean,
What would you rather do?
throw everybody to the county. I'm not suggesting that, I'm just bringing it up for discussion.
Is that what other towns do?
Huh?
Do other
yeah,
towns
if
do
they
that?
don't have a municipal court, everything goes to the county.
And, you know, they
So
don't
they
get
have
any.
the same enforcement without the expense of court.
Well, the reason we made
Correct.
money actually was because the village and the town were, the court clerk
We
was
shared the
for,
clerk
we shared the
services.
clerk spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was one reason I think that's the reason we did make money.
Well, no, you were still paying for the same number of hours. She
Yeah,
just was working twice as many hours, half here and half there.
Yeah.
So you didn't,
but it seems to me we did, when we changed over for some reason, it wasn't a lot of money, but we were making money off the court system.
I
it
don't
was
think
more
we ever
so,
really made much money.
I think it was more so the change to the deputies from the village.
No, yeah,
police.
that's what I meant, the deputy.
And our contract deputies were writing more of the citations, and so we were getting that court fee. Now, if you look at it, most of the citations seem to be written by county
Well,
deputies,
yeah,
and so
because
it's going there.
our police, our police stood out there on 12 and 18 and got tickets when we were with the village. That was where they were making all their money, was out at 12 and 18.
Yeah, now,
But because our police chief actually pushed that to make money. So maybe we gotta push more that they gotta be out to look at the ticket.
One thing April said is that they're finding that while they come to court and you're fined $300, they're finding there's a number of people that are not paying that $300. And they're trying to go and get and collect it. And that's part of the reason why we see an increase in the clerk time, because they are pushing to recoup money that has been assessed and not collected.
Why don't we see that information?
Pardon?
Why don't we see that information? do we have an outstanding bill of $100,000 that people haven't paid or something, or?
Well, if it gets so
Well, I
bad,
don't know,
the
I'm
state
just-
just revokes the license for failure to pay.
Mhm. Yeah.
There is a large amount out there and we okayed this year to
Yeah.
go the state to start
Yep, we
collecting
did.
that.
And
And
hopefully,
so that's a slow process
Yeah.
to get that going.
but hopefully we'll see something happen on this, I would hope, right?
I just think we gotta take a real hard look at it. It's too late this year, but I think we take a good hard look at it next year to see what the numbers are shaking out for 22. And, I mean, this would have,
Show me a court system that made money.
Chris,
That-
what I'm
That's
saying
all
is.
I'm saying.
We
They
gotta
don't
look-
make money.
No, I'm just saying, we pay an extra between, if my numbers are correct, between 40 and 50K above and beyond what we get for revenue. Once you count the legal aspect of it, plus the court, plus the clerks, all
Lawyers,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right? If we were to get rid of the court altogether, that's 50 grand, say for round numbers, that we could throw back in our budget and we wouldn't be over this year. We'd be under again.
You got 30,000 in revenue.
No, not according to this. It was 19,373 net to the town.
That was through August.
Huh?
Through August.
Through August.
So the
Through
budget is 30,000, and then your judicial budget,
lawyers, you mean? Or what?
your judge, your clerks and all that is 34, so it's 34,900, so 4,900 plus 2,100,000 for court legal, so it's more, it's not 50,000. 20.
Okay, I was going off of the 19,343. That's what I was using for my numbers. Okay,
You're more like.
Yeah, but it says the town.
No, right,
The total
right.
amount collected for 2020.
What's that?
Wait, I'm trying to. Okay,
Moving on. Back to the treasurer. And where we are, we're starting with page 1 of revenue. You got the landfill compensation fee in there,
For 56,788.
and you put the 41,600, 5,000 in there.
For what? I had 5,000 for the stormwater I added.
Yes,
Mhm.
from that ARPA funds.
Yes.
So you have revenue of 5,000, and we'll have expense later on. On page 2, nothing changed. Page 3, we upped the sale of highway equipment and property to 3,500. Nothing else. Page 4, expenditures, no change there. Next page, under clerk, secretary, and treasurer. Other than wages, we made no changes. Judicial, we made no changes. Legal, no changes. Election, accounting, no changes. Town hall equipment, we added $1,000 there. We did not make any changes to utility.
What about that?
Yeah, that's a interesting point there. Like I said, that's,
Can we,
Well, typically, we end up with a surplus anyway.
we do.
How do we come up with all of our undesignated money?
Yeah.
That's extra at the end of the year.
so you don't want to change it then?
Looks to me like we'd be right at estimated final on town utilities and Yeah, all of these, actually. 21,
How come our town hall utilities were so high in 2020, I wonder?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that an old furnace?
That's
It was
not,
the
that's
old furnace.
utilities, that's not, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a-
the old
Yeah, it's your
furnace.
gas and your, everything else to run everything.
Oh.
Must've been cold last winter.
I think it was.
I would leave them
2020.
where they are. Leave them where they are? Yeah.
Believe that Pyramid was in there. The new phone system, if I remember right. That was the split between you.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Utility, okay.
Oh, sure, that would do it.
So then emergency
No, that was
building and
equipment.
fire protection. We had no changes in there. Public Works. We added the stormwater for Cashew Creek under stormwater expense, that 5,000. Nothing on the next page. On the next page, under economic development or somewhere in there, we're gonna put that $1,000 for the MPO. And nothing on the last page.
I think I have it all.
So we're gonna take just over 30,000 from undesignated to balance the budget.
Yep. Let's see.
And we'll be balanced.
You know, right now,
That wasn't so
other
hard.
than our 700.
That wasn't so hard.
So we need to set a date for a public hearing for the Town of Cottage Grove budget for fiscal year 2022.
When we normally have it.
First week in December, is it?
Usually we've had it the first night of the first board meeting in December.
December 6th.
I think it was the 5th last year, yeah.
Yeah, what's our date that we gotta have taxes? It's the
I think it's that second week. I'd have to look. I don't have the.
The week of the 13th.
13th through
week
17th.
of time. So I have to post it for 2 weeks ahead of time. So, you know, the worst thing is you're not gonna know your total assessed value till after board of review on the 16th. That's, so you can't post a mill rate till after that, and that's gotta be posted as part of that notice, so that's what's,
November 16th.
yeah, so
Wow.
How we doing there as far as?
I only got 2 appointments at this point,
What date was that again?
November
I
16th.
give you exactly 2 weeks in between,
Huh? I know, that's gonna be
2.5 weeks.
pretty tough to get, I mean, it's gonna be tight, but you can't go any later than that because we won't be able to get our numbers in.
We
Get
started at
taxed.
7?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that's what you're gonna have to do.
December 6th
6,
for the public hearing.
yeah.
And then we have a special meeting of the electors at the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Oh, crap.
And we're having.
November 16th.
December. Oh,
December 6th.
No, November, oh yeah, I do have it. I couldn't figure out why. I was looking at December 6th, scrolled down.
Oh,
I didn't see board of review there, so I added it. Oh yeah, no, December, duh.
So we'll do all that on December 6th before the regular town board meeting.
Okay.
Anything else?
so
Let me-
do you want her to, like, get you copies to look at just to verify,
I
or?
think so.
Yes.
You think you'll have that extra here number? That's gonna change a little bit if that.
I can look for, see if I can push for that too.
Yeah, her wins.
Or do you just wanna, do you want anything on the November 1st agenda? To just. I mean, you're gonna have.
I can put it in the packets for you for this week.
You usually don't actually approve the budget until after the levy is approved, so,
Right.
but you might want to look at it one more time in print. I don't know.
We'll see what I find out tomorrow from that Martin and Griffin.
Speaking of, just another item here, everybody emergency government on staff is supposed to be taking the, 2 or 3 of these courses. And I brought this up before. And Mike, you don't have, it says on here, you don't have any of them.
No.
And Steve, it looks like you're okay, basically okay. And Kim's okay. Randy Gabers had them all. Our treasurer
You
isn't
guys
on here.
probably haven't, have you ever even had?
No, you haven't had either, but there's 3, I mean, they're simple to take, but
Yeah,
it's a X blocking,
Yeah,
filling in the blanks.
Listen to the
Treasurer,
video.
you're supposed to be doing it,
The test.
taking the day to do it.
so
Where would I find that information?
she can get it to you.
so the NIMS, National Incident Management, but she, we'll have to look and see which ones. I'll have to dig out that again, what she needs, I had to go a level deeper than what the treasurer would have to,
It
but
says all staff, it says ICS 100,
yeah,
700 and 200.
In that order?
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then I think I did, isn't 700 first?
it doesn't show that, but
Anyway,
I thought 100 was first.
yeah, it is.
100,
This is federal
700 and 200, and then I did 300 or something too, didn't I?
Yeah,
They're really fun when you get into the later ones, let me tell you.
maybe I can take Linda's name off hers and put mine on all of them. She's
Good luck.
she's taken all of them, believe it or not.
I think the 300 one you can't take online. That was, because I remember I got to take it on my birthday once and it was not a good present.
You're the only one that, well, yeah, you're the only one that's actually taken that one.
Yeah,
But Chris, you're supposed to take that one. You're top level manager.
You're supposed to take what, 300?
200 and 300.
Joy.
You've taken the other 2. I don't think anybody's going to throw you in jail. So,
I hope not.
well, after this budget meeting, it's very possible. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second by Duclay and Williams for adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
and tomorrow's night's meeting is canceled.
Yep.
Tomorrow night's meeting is canceled.
God, I sure hope everybody's happy.
Plan commission is.
Oh,